What up, fam? It's your favorite cousin, your favorite brother, your favorite uncle, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place in which we come together and we grow and we get to know one another and we grow with one another and we work with one another until we become the best we can be right now in the present. If you want to know more about me, you can actually go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com and you can find out about the business Live For You Coaching, which is my life coaching, spiritual coaching practice, where I help people deal with the trauma and grow beyond that. So that's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. You can also follow me on social media at Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook. So follow me, subscribe to the channel. I am so thankful of those of you who have subscribed. Welcome back. You are family. I love you. I love everybody, but I have an especially a high regard and place in my heart for those of you who have decided to join the family, because this is a great place. It's a positive place. It's a safe space. Why wouldn't you? Those of you who are looking and watching and observing and coming every week or every time I put a video out to be part of this movement, just to observe it, you might as well join the movement. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Why not? You cannot lose anything, and you have everything to gain. See, I am throwing out some gems here. Like, I'm throwing out some life coaching. This is free life coaching, period. You know, and so, you know, I'm not taking a charge for it. I'm actually giving some of my gems away for free. And so, why not participate? Why not like, comment, and share on the videos? And why not subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel? It's just a click. Yeah, it's over there. It's a click. It's right there. It's a click. So welcome. You know, guys, I've been going over the last weeks. I've been going over my book. And for those of you who haven't gotten the book is out on Amazon. But those of you who don't know what the book is, the book is The Freedom Prescription. It is literally medicine for reclaiming your present life after trauma. So if you haven't gotten the book, go and get the book. The book is cheap. The book is not the end-all, be-all answer to everything, but it is little gems, little prescriptions, little nuggets, little tools, little trinkets that you can use to take for your own personal life, to be the best you and to deal with your trauma and heal from your trauma and be living your best life. So get the book. It's out on Amazon. And I've decided to go over in these 6 weeks that we've been having, to go over the book and not necessarily go into detail, but just really certain things that I think are important for you to gather from the book. I really want you to read the book, and so you get the deeper sense of the things. But this is kind of just like a broad kind of stroke looking over of the book. That's really all that it is, right? So get the book, read the book, and then come here and you can engage and ask questions and submit questions and submit scenarios, whatever you want to do. Or hit me up on social media, however you want to do it. If you want to sign up for coaching, and that's totally perfectly fine, up to you too. So in the book, we've already talked about accepting what is and dealing in that regard. We've also talked about dealing with your thinking. So now we're going to chapter 3, which talk about, are you living present? Are you living today? Is the life that you're living a life of a present now? Because many times we get caught up in our trauma. Holding on to trauma is really just holding on to yesterday and not being able or willing to let it go. And holding on to worry and being a worrywart, a worrisome person, is really just holding on to what we expect or what we want or what we anticipate or what we believe that the future should be. So it is important that in order to have a full life and in order to heal from trauma, you have got to stand your ground in right now, the present. Living a total life of peace, a total life of happiness, a total life of joy, a total life of abundance and prosperity and spiritual connectivity is about living a life right now. Living in where you are right now, here in the present. Because the truth of the matter is, and you guys know I have my notes because there's some gems I want to throw out there. But the truth of the matter is as long as we continue to focus on yesterday, there is no way that we can fully engage in the now. You can't be in two places at once. It is damn impossible, really. You just can't do it. And that's not just two physical locations, that's actually two times as well. So you can't be in the past and dwelling and living and existing and being in the past and be in the present. It just doesn't work. You are no functionally, you're not even functionally useful in the present if you're always constantly trying to control, manipulate, live in, dwell in, think about the past. It is very important that you move beyond that and live today. And you can't, of course, live tomorrow. So you have to be rooted in today. Life is good, but it is hard to accept this truth when we are consumed by what was the past, or even what we think or feel should be the future. You cannot experience, love, engage, appreciate, honor, respect, adore the good that is in life if your occupation and your thought life is all about yesterday and the future and tomorrow. It is so important that you are present. You know, the saying, you guys know the saying, take some time out to smell the roses. It didn't say you should have taken the time out to smell the roses, and it didn't say take the time out to smell the roses tomorrow. It literally means right now, take time to enjoy what's around you. How can you be a good parent if you're not present? Kids are always present. One thing I've learned about children are always present wherever they are. They're on. They're in that moment. And so a good parent has to be there with them to be a good parent. You can't do a job and perform a job well if you're preoccupied with what could be, or what would have been, or what could have been. You have to be fully engaged, and that's the only way to enjoy food, the only way to enjoy a good smell, the only way to enjoy good music, the only way to enjoy good company. Whatever you're enjoying, it's an enjoyed experience right now. So it is important for you to be fully engaged today. And that's the only way for it to be possible. It is a fact that healing is a present endeavor. That's a fact. That's a fact. You don't heal in the past. It's impossible to even live in the past. You don't heal in the future. It's impossible to live in the future. So all of the work that you do, all of the engaging that you do to better yourself and become a full person and to have a life of peace, a life of joy, a life of prosperity is now. Healing is a present tense act. And I find it very interesting that when you talk to people and you try to get a sense of where they are, they're always telling you about where they've been. Or they're always telling you about what they hope to have or hope to do. And then you ask them, but where are you now? And very few people are willing to dive into the now and be so present, so now that they are there enough to be able to just live it. You are living, ing. That means it is happening right now. You've lived in a former time, you will live in the future, and that's not even guaranteed. But at least you know what is happening right now. Happening, ing, right now is tangible. Me speaking to you on camera while you are listening is a present endeavor. So anything that has to happen, if it's going to happen, and if it's going to be successful, it has to happen right now. Right now. Okay? Healing is the present endeavor. Whether or not you want to do it or not, you are creating a narrative. The goal is to live a totally present life so that you can have the experience of your making to tell. Narratives are written in the present. We have a story from the past. We have an experience from the past. You can tell everybody about your trauma all day long. You can share that story 1,000,000 times with 1,000,000 people and never heal from it. But you realize that you don't want to become the person who always tells the trauma. That becomes your narrative now. That every time someone comes around, I tell them what I've been through. Every time somebody speaks to me, they find out about what I've been through. Every time I'm in a public setting or I'm around friends, I'm talking about what I've been through. That is not a good thing, and you don't want to be that person. Every time somebody around you, it's always about what you're trying to do, what you're going to do. People want you to be present and enjoy the moment with them and experience you for who you are and where you are at the moment. And so you're writing your story, but is your story about you holding on to the past, or your story about you worrying about the future, or is your story about you, I'm living, I'm engaging, I'm loving, I'm being. The best thing you can give yourself is to simply be. And if that confuses you, if you don't know what that looks like, you are out of order. As Mr. Yala would say, you are out of order if you don't know what simply being means. Because you don't know how to exist in a real sense. You are just humdrumming through this thing we call life and living through this thing we call life without any awareness or interaction or engagement or anything deeper than just there. So if you don't know how to simply just be in your fullness in the present, you are out of line and out of order, and you got to get that together. And a life coach or a therapist will be good to help you get into your center space and be and just be. Sometimes I'm happy to just be. People are like, how are you doing? I am. I am. And that's the best thing you can be, is just to be. To be or not to be, that's the question, to quote Hamlet. And the real answer is you would want to be, because not to be is dead. Because you can't help but to be. But you want to be the best being that you can be while you're being who you be. Y'all like how I'm throwing them bars out there? Just kidding. But you get it. Right? Existing, and being are two different things. And so it's present. You have to be centered in the now. The book that helps me the most, and the book that I actually wrote about and quoted from some in my book, is Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. When I tell you that this is one of my favorite books of all time, when I tell you this is one book I read multiple times a year, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, every year, because the information is always feeling fresh and new and now for me. So interesting that The Power of Now always seems now for me. And so I read it, and it just gives me a renewed spirit of being. Give me a renewed spirit of existing in the present and enjoying the present and love it. And it's a powerful book. It's A Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. It's so powerful. And Eckhart Tolle, he talks about everything from living in an unconscious state. He says a large part of our sense of self is intricately or intimately connected with our problems, our past, our pain. There can be a great deal of unconscious ego investment in pain and suffering. Isn't that what living in the past and living in your trauma about? We identify with it. We focus on it, and it becomes who we are. He calls it the pain body. He says we feed it, and it loves. Ego feeds it, and it loves it. It grows in us. And so many people are there. Get caught up in victim mentality, get caught in what happened, get caught in their story, and to tell everybody their story. But he says that once you recognize the root of unconsciousness as identification with the mind, which includes the emotions, you can step out of it. Once you realize that your thinking, just as we talked about in the last video, plays a huge awareness, and you capture it and you realize what it is, you can actually step out of it and live the life that you want to. Because the more you are focused on time, the past, the future, the more you will miss now. The most precious thing that there is. These are quotes from, this book is full of quotes. Nothing has ever happened in the past. It happened in the now. Nothing will ever happen in the future. It will happen in the now. So even when you look at a past moment, you are not actually in the past. You actually are just having that moment. You had that moment in the present, but now it's past. When you have it in the future, you'll be having that moment in that present before, and then it'll be your past at some point once you've had it. So you're always in the present. Your consciousness has to believe that. Your consciousness has to receive that and live within that. That is the work that you have to do. Whenever I start the videos, I always talk about this is a safe space, a positive place for us to come and gather and be the best we can be now. Right here, right now. Not tomorrow. That doesn't mean we're not growing. It means that we're being full in now. Because every growth step is a present step. You grow today, and you're better for tomorrow. You grow tomorrow, and you're better for the next day. But you don't anticipate and be antsy about that. My biblical scholars, you guys know the scripture. The birds aren't concerned with what tomorrow gonna bring. The flowers aren't concerned with what tomorrow gonna bring. They just exist in the moment, and in those moments, every moment is what it is, and each next moment is taken care of. That is such a simple way of living. You are living for the moment. Not living for the weekend, which some of you guys like to do, or living for memories. You are living for now. You are creating everything you are, everything you are going to be, you are creating right now. So my way of helping them, my suggestions in the book, I have a program called the Today Program, and it's another acronym, because you guys know I love an acronym. It is Today, T-O-D-A-Y. You take a deep breath. T is for take a deep breath. That is one of the most present things you can do. And it's one thing that you do unconsciously. But it's also one thing that millions of people, if not billions of people on the planet, take for granted. The fact that air is going in and out of your lungs and out of your nostrils and out of your mouth and out of your pores. And with that, that is how your life is sustained. It's super powerful. Super powerful. Just to pause and focus on your breath. Powerful. Own everything. You cannot move forward with healing from your trauma if you don't take responsibility for the things that you're responsible for, engaged in, and around you. Even if it's taking responsibility for holding on to the trauma, that is your burden to bear. No one else can own that but you. Own it. Accept it. It doesn't make you a bad person, because you know I don't like good or bad labels. It just means there's growth potential. Everybody has growth potential. I have growth potential. So own your stuff. Own it. Own it. Then do something worthwhile. Do something worthwhile. What do you enjoy? Are you a painter? Do you enjoy reading? I love reading. I love learning stuff. I love creating. There's so much happiness in your life when you're doing something that is worthwhile and meaningful to you. Even if other people think it's insignificant or it doesn't get you anything, you're not making money off it. Money doesn't mean it's worthwhile. Money doesn't mean it's valuable. What makes it valuable is that it's something that feeds your spirit. That your soul on a deeper level, on a cosmic level, on a spiritual connection, connects with. That's what that is. So do something worthwhile. Do something you enjoy. Then back to square one. Accept what is. Nobody heals without acceptance of what is, or what was, what you have, who you are, personality traits, traits of other people. Don't mind God's business. Don't mind other people's business. Mind your own damn business. Accept what is as what is, according to Byron, and let it be. And you accept who you are, and you just simply be. Just be. And then, of course, lastly, be a yes person. Say yes to life. No is resistance. Yes is allowing and embracing. Nothing's coming to get you but your own train of thought about what you think is coming to get you, or even what you're thinking is coming to get you. So the only thing that you can do is say, yes. Yes, Spirit. Yes, God. I receive. Yes, love. I receive love. Yes, abundance. Yes, possibilities. Yes, health. Yes, healing. I receive you with open arms. I will not resist you with a no. I will embrace and accept you and allow you with a yes. Be yes. Wise for yes. Today.